You're talking here with Piers Morgan, who isn't a Jew hater, and me, who is Jewish, and you're invoking anti-Semitism whenever Israel gets criticism. Maybe it's just that you guys are a rogue regime that's killing tens of thousands of people.
Welcome back, everyone. Jonathan the Crook Conricus was back on the Piers Morgan show, and this time, unfortunately for him, he was showed absolutely no mercy, especially by Dave Smith and also Piers. It didn't go quite the way he wanted, attempting to sell his sub-story of Jew hatred and anti-Semitism, but I'm glad this time that big old mouth of his didn't have so much to say. Let's take a look.
I'm an American. Your country is on my country's welfare. We have financed and given you the weapons and the diplomatic cover and the literal protection and vetoed the resolutions at the UN. We have protected and propped up Israel. And you have a lot of nerve to turn around and then say that we scrutinize what you do too much. I am forced against my will to pay for the destruction of Gaza, to pay for the military occupation of Palestine. And yeah, when I see videos of the military occupiers murdering a couple of surrendering people, yeah, I'm going to scrutinize that. I'm going to have an opinion on that. And it's just absolutely outrageous that you guys sit here when the whole world is watching. Sir, let me be honest with you. When the whole world sees you describe the IDF as fighting terrorism, we're all going, I don't know how dumb you think we are. The IDF, you were a spokesman for the biggest terrorist organization in the region, objectively the worst, and it's a region full of terrorist organizations.
You're ridiculous.
And the IDF is the worst
one. I mean, you had my ear and attention and a bit of my respect until you said that nonsense.
I don't care.
The last part of what
I don't
you
care
said.
about your
You're
respect.
entitled to. That's fine.
You're a spokesman for a terrorist organization, sir. I don't care about your respect.
You're entitled to your opinion sitting in your comfortable office in New York or wherever. You're entitled to have your feelings and opinions. The fact that you have them doesn't make it right. And the fact that you call the military of a nation state a terrorist organization, I think shows how ungrounded you are, and frankly, it's ridiculous. Yes, I made that specific remark about Clarissa.
You might as well have just been quiet for 30 seconds.
I said
you're comfortable in New York City.
Specifically, what I said
state government is a terrorist organization.
I said what I said about Clarissa because I think it is very relevant when people who are when people who have the role and the power as the main conduits of information that shape hearts and minds and that really tell the story of what's going on, allegedly what's going on in Gaza, when they are shown and exposed to have a very clear anti-Israeli bias, yes, that is part of the story. That needs to be informed, and people should know about that because I think... No, it isn't only that. And again, had it only been getting a story wrong and owning up to the mistake and saying, well, I sure got this story wrong and maybe I should look at the other stories I got wrong, then I wouldn't have mentioned it.
Finally, someone pointing out the obvious, Dave reminding Jonathan that before you go around calling Americans who criticize Israel anti-Semitic, just remember that it's because of America that suddenly you and your army grew up here. Any Westerner, especially the Americans, should be going absolutely wild knowing their money is going to people like Jonathan to kill and terrorize people who they occupy. For anyone who doesn't know, Dave was referring to a video in which Palestinians surrendering to IDF soldiers were shot and killed in cold blood. Jonathan calls it ridiculous and then gives a monologue about owning up to mistakes. The killing of well over 70,000 people, more like 100,000, was not a mistake, it was deliberate.
It has to be different things. It goes back deeper. It is rooted in history. It is rooted in the land that we're in. It's probably related to that old hatred against my people and many other things. Yes. But at the end of the day,
well, that's it. Okay, so yes. All right, hang on.
Can I just respond to Piers, please?
Dave, I will let you come in, but I'm going to give it a peg to come in because actually you've perfectly timed that, Jonathan, where you try and conflate scrutiny of the Israeli government and criticism of the Israeli government with people hating Israelis or hating Jews, because the Anti-Semite of the Year nominees. It's quite interesting about this list. It is organised by the Stop Anti-Semitism Watchdog. It's just the ones that I know who have come on this show. Tucker Carlson, Cenk Uygur, Anna Kasparian. Just those three alone. I've never heard them express their hatred for Jewish people. Why would they be branded anti-Semitic, even if they've been aggressively critical of the Israeli government? Now, Dave, I'll let you respond to that because it really flies to the ongoing running sore I have about this, because I get branded anti-Semitic purely because I criticize Netanyahu's decision making, which I think is completely outrageous. But it's done to silence
it's all they
legitimate
have, Piers.
debate.
It's so pathetic, man. It's like you. I think the list there. I think those are the three people I know on it too. Are Cenk, Anna, and Tucker. And it's just no, they're not anti-Semites at all. They've never once said anything about the Jews. No. They've all bent over backwards to say that's not what I'm about. Miss Rachel, as far as I understand, just makes little kids like programming and feels bad for the Palestinians. It's insane that they go after her. But to Jonathan's point, even when he tied this together, look, Piers, like just look at these facts objectively, okay? Like I'm trying to remove my opinion from it as much as possible. Over the last 2 years, Israel has essentially destroyed all of Gaza. They've expanded settlements on the West Bank in their occupied territory under their military occupation there, and a bunch of people have been killed over there. Despite what Dave Rubin doesn't know about anything, Piers, you were absolutely correct. There have been settlement expansions. Israel has also bombed Yemen, Lebanon, Syria, and Iran. I think I'm missing one. I think there was a seventh over the last 2 years. Might that be why there is some scrutiny on them, Piers? Maybe it's not just everyone's hated by anti-Semitism. Yeah, okay, fine.
Might there be a reason why Israel bombed it, Dave?
Sure. And right.
Did anybody attack Israel?
One second, Jonathan. I was trying to remove my own opinion and just state the objective facts. We could have that whole argument. The point is, there is another reason than just you're talking here with Piers Morgan, who isn't a Jew hater, and me, who is Jewish, and you're invoking anti-Semitism whenever Israel gets criticism. Maybe it's just that you guys are a rogue regime that's killing tens of thousands of people and violating international law, and also attempting to drag my country into more and more conflicts, exerting an undue amount of influence on my government. Maybe that's what's going on. And maybe you should admit this. You know, it's like you're like the person who's like a serial gambler and then says the reason I'm losing everything is because everyone's against me. Look at your own behavior, man.
Jonathan starts with a sub story, which nobody cares about. Piers makes a good point. All he's done is equate scrutiny of the Israeli government with people hating Israelis or Jews. I'm glad Piers makes that distinction, and I'm sure Jonathan appreciates it too. And just when we thought things couldn't get any worse, they released the Anti-Semitic Awards of the Year, which includes people like Miss Rachel. They never fail to amaze me. Dave makes a very important point. Piers has defended Israel fiercely and still does. Dave is a Jew himself. It's not possible for him to hate his own people, yet we've seen it time and time again, targeting anyone and everyone for any negative comment against Israel. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Support me by liking and subscribing, and I'll see you all on the next video. Peace out.